Good morning, students. Yesterday I discussed the meaning of aggregate supply, the slope of the aggregate supply, and average propensity to consume also I discussed. Now today I will discuss with you MPC, that is the slope of the consumption curve. Marginal propensity to consume we can calculate by changes in consumption upon changes in income. Or MPC always refers to the ratio between the change in consumption to the change in income. After that, one schedule is there. Income starts from zero, then consumption. It's simple thought कि okay, when the income is zero, some level of consumption will be there. So first of all, for calculating the MPC, first of all we want changes in the income and changes in the consumption. So first of all, changes in the income: 10 minus 0, 10, 20 minus 10, 10, 30 minus 20, again 10, and 40 minus 30, 10. Same with the consumption: 20 minus 15, 5, 25 minus 20, 5. 30 minus 25, 5, and 35 minus 30, 5. So these are changes. Now we will put these values in the formula to calculate MPC. So 5 upon 10, 5 upon 10, 5 upon 10. So your MPC is like this. It's not compulsory that MPC will always remain constant. According to the schedule, we are getting these values. Now let's come to the features of the MPC. Now first feature which I have written over there, that MPC is always greater than 0 and lesser than 1. Why it is always greater than 1? Because MPC is assumed to be positive and less than unity, which means that when income increases, the whole of it is not spent on the consumption. Similarly, on the other hand, when income falls, the consumption expenditure does not decline in the same proportion. The end never becomes zero, because for the survival the consumer will keep some consumption. That's why MPC can never be zero. And why it is always lesser than 1? Because the whole part of the income will not be spent. Some part we can save also. That's why MPC is always lesser than 1. Second feature I have written: if entire additional income is consumed. If entire additional income will consume, that means delta Y. If it is totally consumed, that means delta C. आपकी जितनी भी इनकम है, if this entire income is going to be consumed, only in that case the MPC will be equal to 1 only. Another feature, MPC is 0. MPC can be 0 only in the one condition: if the entire additional income is saved, then the changes in the consumption can be 0, which is rare, which is not so possible. Another thing, that MPC is low in the case of the rich people and always high in the case of the poor people, because a little bit changes in the income, rich people are more affected by the changes in the income and changes in the consumption. After that, now let's come to the next. After the consumption function, now your next topic is saving consumption. Saving consumption, we know that income has the two parts. One is saving, another one is the consumption. So we know that y equals to c plus s. So according to the equation, saving can be calculated by y minus c, or saving is the function of income. That means saving has a positive relationship with the income. If income increases, saving increases. If income decreases, savings decreases. That's why saving is the function of income. Same like when we discussed yesterday also, that consumption is also a function of income. Now, algebraic expression, yesterday we also discussed the algebraic expression of the consumption. In the same way, savings algebraic function is minus c bar. That means autonomous consumption. When the income is 0, whatever the level of consumption in the economy is going on, that negative part is, that negative thing we have to keep over here. 1 minus b is MPS, and in consumption function we have written that c plus by, c bar plus by. तो b वहाँ पे आपका MPC था, here MPS we have to keep, and y is income. So this is the algebraic expression of a saving function. So today also we have discussed two more formulas. One is saving function and another one is the algebraic expression of the saving. Now the saving function, yesterday also we discussed the consumption function with the help of a diagram and the schedule. So same thing we will discuss over here also. First of all, see the schedule. Income 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Consumption 15, 20, 25, 30 and 35. When income is 0, consumption is more, so no sense of the savings. So savings are negative. Again income increases, consumption increases more. On that time also savings are negative. Income increases, consumption increases more, then also savings are negative. At one point y equals to c, that is the break even point. At that time savings are 0. After that, when your income increases, consumption little bit lags behind, because the some part is going to be saved by the economy. So same thing we will show over here. This part which we have discussed yesterday, actually the saving function is related with this diagram. That's why I have prepared both the diagram. Otherwise, if the question will be there to draw the diagram for the saving function, only this diagram is you have to draw. But I have prepared over here so you can understand how this curve is derived. First of all, let's discuss this one. We know when the income is 0, some level of consumption is there. So that type of the consumption is known as the autonomous consumption. So till the break even point here, when y equals to c, before that point income is less as compared to the consumption. So obviously when your income is less, you are consuming more. So there is no sense that we will save some money. So on that time savings are negative. So that means before the break even point, your savings should be negative. After that, when income reaches to, income and consumption both become equal to each other according to your schedule 30 and 30, on that time your savings are 0. Here, because I have mentioned over here savings are 0, so here also your savings are 0. After this break even point, your income increases but your consumption lags behind, and the difference between y and c is s. So now you can see after the break even point savings started. So basically saving curve is derived from the consumption curve only. When the income is less than the consumption, on that time negative savings are there. When income is equal to the consumption, on that time savings are 0. When income is greater than consumption, so remaining part is saved. So that's why saving curve starts in the positive slope. So this is your saving function which you have to draw when this question will be asked. Otherwise, no need to draw this diagram. These both the diagrams will be asked in the other form. Just derive saving curve from consumption curve, or derive consumption curve from saving curve. In that question only you have to draw both the diagrams. Now the next topic, yesterday also we discussed the average propensity to consume. In the same way, propensity to save, that means it is the desire to save at the different levels of income. So again the two types of propensity to save is there. First of all is APS, second one is MPS. First we will discuss with the APS. APS, that means average propensity to consume. That means it is the ratio between the total savings and income at the given level of income in the economy. Same table which I have explained you earlier also for the saving function, that same I am using over here. See, I have not prepared, directly as I am showing you. When income was 0, on that time savings was negative. Savings will be negative till when income and consumption will be equal to each other. After that, when income increases and consumption lags behind, then your savings will be positive. So this is your calculation of APS. That means minus 15 upon 0, minus 10 upon 10, minus 5 upon 20, 0 upon 30 and 5 upon 40. So you will get these values. Now come to the features of the APS. First of all, as income increases, APS also rises. Obviously, when your income increases, your consumption will lags behind and we will start saving some amount of the money. So income increases, APS will increase. As I said, that saving is the positive function of the income. If income increase, savings increase. Second point, APS can be negative. When APS can be negative, when consumption expenditure is higher than income. आपने देखा होगा in the diagram, before the break even point, when the income is lesser than the consumption, in that condition only your APS can be negative. That means before the break even point. Next one, APS can be 0. APS can be 0 at the break even point. Here it is mentioned when y equals to c. That means at the break even point we can say that APS can be 0. And last point, APS can never be more than 1, because savings can never be equal or more than income. Savings cannot be go more than the income. That's why we can say that APS can never be more than 1. Now the next type of the propensity is marginal propensity to save. Marginal propensity to save, it is the ratio of a change in savings to change in income. So we have to show the changes in the saving upon changes in the income. So same schedule we are using. Savings are there. So first of all, changes in the income we are showing. 10 minus 0, 20 minus 10, 30 minus 20, 40 minus 30. You will get the changes. Then in changes in the saving, again 10 minus 15, and this way you will get. So MPS we can calculate by dividing delta S upon delta Y. So your MPS is 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Now let's read the features of your MPS. MPS value is always in between 0 and 1. It is always greater than 0 and it is always lesser than 1, because entire income cannot, savings can never be greater than the income, and some part will be whenever the income is greater than the consumption, on that time your MPS will start. Second thing, MPS is equals to 1. MPS can be equal to 1 when if entire additional income is saved. Only in that condition your MPS can be equal to 1. Similarly, I have written over here C. It is MPS. MPS can be equals to 0 only in the one condition, if entire additional income is consumed. So these are the features. These features are always useful for the true and false. Otherwise, these are the formulas which we are going to use it in the numericals.